Ladies and gentlemen, this is Intervlog. I say this is Intervlog, and I am here once more. I'm here because there is one information that I brought to you today, and this information is unbelievable. I say it is unbelievable, and you would ask me, why am I repeating unbelievable twice? Well, it is because things like this don't happen every time. I myself have never seen it happening in the past, and you would ask me, what is that? Well, it is about Ukraine versus Russia war. The war has arrived in Africa, and it is happening right now in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, known as Sahel region, particularly in Traore'S. For some of you who do not know, today is 3rd of August, 2024. There's a lockdown in Traore'S, no movement in Tuareg region. Everybody is sitting at home because of a picture, publicated on Cave Post, where Cave Post showed a picture of people who believe to have eliminated many Russian Wagner group. Earlier this week, there was an ambush by Tuareg group to Wagner, and many Wagner group were eliminated. But surprisingly, Ukrainian popular newspaper known as Kyiv Post publicated the picture of the people who eliminated the Russian Wagner, and Ukrainian on that post agreed to have provided intelligence to the Wagner group. And through these pictures and some videos online being publicated by the Ukrainian, Russia, Burkina Faso, Mali, have sealed all the Tuareg region. Majority of the people on this picture that you are looking at now have either gone to heaven or arrested. That is exactly what is happening, because Russia said that he needs each and every one of these people, and they have been identified one by one by the villages. Their village is now locked down completely. No movement. No press can get in. No press can get out. No Ukrainian soldier is there. And that is exactly what is happening, and this thing will teach us about early celebration. Don't celebrate too early because the consequence might be very dangerous. So let's go and to hear how the ambush happened, which the Ukrainian intelligence officer has come out to admit that they provided intelligence to the Tuareg. This is how it happened. Ukrainian intelligence hints at ongoing operations against Wagner in Mali. On July 29th, Andriy Yusov, a representative of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, commented on the defeat of the Wagner mercenaries, stating that Tuareg rebels received the necessary information and other means, which allowed them to conduct a successful military operation against Russian Wagner mercenaries. According to Yusov, this marks the continuation of successful actions against Wagner Group operatives in Africa. We certainly will not disclose details at this time, to be continued, he added. Yusov reminded that the Wagner Group has been actively operating in the African region and beyond. They have been trying to resolve geopolitical and economic issues with their mercenaries, changing or supporting various governments. And today, the whole world sees that this is no longer the same potential and capabilities of Russia. This means that new orders and reliance on them as an accurate tool for solving regional problems will be less, he concluded. Several Wagner PMC fighters were allegedly captured, including Anton Elizarov, known by his call sign Lotus, according to pro-war author Boris Rozhin, who runs the Colonel Kasud Telegram channel. Rozhin claims that Elizarov has already been exchanged back. The military informant Telegram channel reports that the captured Wagner mercenaries were quickly ransomed through the mediation of the African Corps of the Russian Ministry of Defense. Some analysts claim that Elizarov became the de facto commander of the Wagner militants, following the passed on of mercenary commander Dmitry Utkin and Yevgeny Prigozhin, the founder of Wagner PMC, in a plane crash in the Tver region in August 2023. Furthermore, it was reported that Malian rebels inflicted damage on at least one Mi-24 helicopter. The helicopter, which was carrying injured Wagner fighters, was attacked by Tuareg rebels during an emergency landing near Tinzaouaten in the Kidal region. Who are the Tuaregs? The Tuaregs are a semi-nomadic group scattered around the Sahara region in North and West Africa, whose population could be found in Mali, Niger, Algeria, Libya, Burkina Faso, and Chad. It's believed that 950,000 out of the 2 million Tuareg population reside in Mali. There are numerous armed groups operating under the banner of Tuareg independence, with ideologies ranging from nationalism to extremist jihadism. The group that claimed responsibility for the attacks on Wagner troops was CSP. One of the groups that formed the CSP vowed to take up arms against Russian troops assisting the government forces. This was followed by escalating clashes in June 2023, during which the Malian troops attacked CSP positions, which led to further CSP retaliations. Tuareg group repelled a Malian-Russian offensive in northern Mali in the worst engagement for Russian forces since they arrived in Mali in 2021. Since late June, the Malian army and its Russian auxiliaries have been waging an offensive to clear Tuareg group from remote areas of northern Mali's Kidal region, outside the government-held regional capital, Kidal City. Security forces spent late June and early July conducting operations around Abeybara, a strategically located town between Kidal City and the Algerian border. The Malian junta has repeatedly emphasized that defeating the Tuareg and re-establishing government control in northern Mali is a leading priority and crucial tenet of national sovereignty. Malian and Russian forces have repeatedly carried out attacks there as part of these operations. Security forces then extended their efforts into two separate areas in mid-July: the Tin Esako district, east of Kidal, and the Algerian border area. The security forces lacked the capacity to hold positions along the border, so their convoys patrolled areas for a few hours before withdrawing to their bases farther south, allowing the militants to re-enter the area. Malian and Russian forces previously took control of forward operating bases to help hold newly contested positions during their initial offensive into northern Mali to capture Kidal in late 2023. Tuareg near the Algerian border repeatedly withdrew before the arrival of security forces and avoided engaging them until July 25th near the border town Tinzaouten. A Malian-Russian convoy intended to capture the town's vacant military base, presumably to set up a forward operating base as they did during their Kidal offensive in 2023 that would have helped sustain a more lasting presence along the border. The fighting near Tinzaouten lasted several days and resulted in significant Russian loss after militants halted the convoy south of Tinzaouten on day 1 and forced security forces to retreat into a worse ambush the following day, which caused most of the losses. Russian insider sources reported that at least 20 Russian fighters lost their life and that there were up to 80 Russian lost their life, including prominent commanders and military commentators. The Malian army initially said it had lost 2 soldiers and a helicopter, but acknowledged a significant number of losses on July 29th. After this had happened, the image was publicated online, and after the image being publicated online, Ibrahim Traore sent his drones to Tuareg, and this is how it was sent. On 1st August 2024, Burkina Faso joins Mali's fight against the militants. Malian troops and their Russian allies have been engaging Tuareg militant groups in the Tinzaouten area in the north of the country since last week. The Malian Armed Forces, FAMAS, are receiving support from the Burkinabe army in their operations against the rebel groups of the Permanent Strategic Framework for the Defense of the People of Azawad, Standing Strategic Framework for the Defense of the People of Azawad, CSP-DPA, and the jihadists of the Support Group for Islam and Muslims, GSIM, in the Tinzaouten area. The FAMAS, in coordination with the armed forces of Burkina Faso, began an air campaign in the Tinzaouten sector on Tuesday, 30th July 2024. The General Staff of the Malian Armed Forces said in a statement. It added that this campaign aims to secure people and property in the locality of Tinzaouten and its surroundings against the coalition of insurgents responsible for loss of life and illicit trafficking against the Malian population. The General Staff also reported that the Burkinabe Air Force had essentially targeted specific high-value objectives including caches, logistical hubs, and vehicles. Mali justified the Burkinabe army's intervention on the grounds of solidarity between the member states of the Confederation of Sahel States, AES, and in application of the organization's collective defense and mutual assistance mechanism. Since Saturday, the Malian army and its Russian allies have been confronting the CSP and the GSIM. Presently, there are drones from Russia, drones from Mali, drones from Burkina Faso, drones from Niger in Tuareg region, as I'm speaking with you. These drones are hovering over the Tuareg region. All these boys have either been sent to heaven, arrested, or on the run. Therefore, what is happening in Gaza is actually happening in Traore'S region, in Mali. No help, nobody. And I will blame Ukraine for early celebration, making a mistake of publicating the faces and showing the boys online. This is unbelievable. We know that there are a problem in Tuareg, but that problem is caused by early celebration. We know that there is. Well, my prayer is, let there be peace in Africa. We don't want war. We don't want what is happening in Ukraine and Russia to happen in Africa. We don't want what is happening in Gaza to happen in Africa. Africa do not need war. What Africa need is progress. People should pray so that this war don't escalate. Thank you very much for watching. This is the entire log.